Those in Gemini are caring people who put too much effort into relationships and never get the appreciation they deserve. They're creative, but never seen for their true talent. Equally, Aquarius are very friendly, so they often find themselves in a company of very different people. Pisces are selfless, and they are always willing to help others without hoping to get anything back. You might find that this fits you, or you might not. Most likely because I took this from a random horoscope and swapped the star signs around. So, most of us were probably kids or teenagers when we first came across horoscopes, these little page-sized summaries of everything you were supposed to be and what will happen to you in love, money and health in the coming days or weeks if the magazine was a weekly. They told you that Jupiter was ascendant in your star sign, or perhaps that a planet was retrograde and what that meant for the way the boy or girl at school was looking at you. And it always fit. Sure, it always came in close rather than fit perfectly a couple of times here and there, but it works, right? What if I told you you're almost right? Chances are you know your zodiac sign, and you also know what personality traits are associated with it. But what if I told you that you're almost, but not quite right? That if you were born in June, you're not a Gemini, but a Cancer. And if you were born in November, you're actually a 13th constellation that was never in the original Zodiac. But the constellations are still there. They haven't moved, have they? Those ancient Greeks and Babylonians weren't wrong, were they? No. However, precession has happened. What? Precession? What's precession? It happens because our planet doesn't spin quite perfectly. It wobbles, so to speak, and so every 72 years, the positions of constellations shift by about 1 degree from our viewpoint on the planet. Anyone familiar with basic maths knows 360 degrees is full circle. Therefore, 1 degree is the 360th part of a full circle shift. It means 86% of people living today are under the wrong star sign. That means you're in a different sign altogether if you're into horoscopes. Not only that, but there's a 13th zodiac sign which astrologers left out. This is an additional constellation called Ophiuchus. Given the movement of the constellations, this would fit between the 23rd of November and the 17th of December. Every other sign sort of slides forward. So Pisces becomes March 11th to April 18th instead of February 21st to March 19th. Now, for most of history, until about the 18th century, astronomy, the study of stars and space and all that cool stuff we used to watch on Discovery Channel before they started running Pawn Stars, and astrology, the study of movements and positions of heavenly bodies for the purpose of figuring out the stuff of life, were one and the same. That being said, so was haircutting and surgery, and that's why those people were called barber surgeons in English. So let's not fall in love with the past. Only after the development of much more powerful observation tools and lenses did we start discovering the planets and stars around us properly. For instance, in 1781, William Herschel observed what he thought was a new comet. Its orbit revealed that it was a new planet, Uranus, the first ever discovered. However, astrology has gathered quite a couple of protests over the years. Here are some of the arguments against it. First, the free will argument. If you can guess everything, or enough, about a person without even accounting for things such as age, gender, origin, income, and so on, then surely they have no free will of their own. And here is where our own desire to handle uncertainty from the future comes into play. Because all divination, tarot, astrology, palm reading relies on us hoping to be better equipped for the future. 2. The confirmation bias. The issue with that is that there is only one future being presented, one personality, one prediction. And often these predictions or analyses of personality in astrology or any other form of divination are vague enough to cover a wide range of outcomes. After all, the astrologer has to be wrong just once for you to lose interest. But if they're just right enough most of the time, with a little help from your brain, you'll keep coming back. This is called the confirmation bias, where you'll have the prediction in mind and your brain starts finding evidence to prove you right. Never mind there's evidence you're wrong too, that one just gets tossed away, it's not important. And the end result is you listen to the astrologer and it was good enough most of the time because you cherry-picked the parts that fit. For instance, next time you look at a horoscope, notice the parts that ring true to you and the ones you ignore or are indifferent to. The latter are most likely the ones that don't apply, but you choose to ignore that part. And here's some of the ones on the interwebs. The final question about astrology. Where in astrology is the influence of black holes, galaxies, and moons, and so on? And why is birth and not conception the moment when astrology starts mattering? Finally, why don't premature babies even get an extra month or so added to them, since that would have made them be born later? Those are just some of the questions we should ask ourselves before trusting these predictions. And I hope next time you're reading a horoscope, you reconsider whether you believe every word. All I'm advising is just some critical thought if you read them unironically. As always, if you like this video, drop a thumbs up below. And if you like the kind of content up on the channel, please do subscribe. See you next time. Ciao!